All right, Scott, first of all, thank you. I appreciate how many of you have contacted me with thanks and with questions regarding these videos that I've been doing about professional speaking. So if you haven't seen the first three in the series, I suggest that you take a look at those first because they'll give you a little bit of background of what we're talking about. Today's topic was generated by a question that I received from many people, and it's one that makes a lot of sense. It's about fees and about what are the requirements to be a professional speaker. So fees are obviously very important. There's so many we were talking about earlier. There's so many of these programs talking about how you can make $1 gazillion in professional speaking and go to my weekend program and you're going to be booking professional speeches in mere months and on and on and on. And I want to have a realistic conversation with you about what that entails and about what the requirements are of being a professional speaker and what you can do to advance your career if it's something that you decide that you'd like to do. So this is the first of two parts talking about what does it take to be a professional speaker and the fees that you can get from professional speaking. So a concept I think we frequently overlook in the conversations about professional speaking is not the word speaker, it's the word professional. What does it take to be a professional? And most of the time, the immediate answer is, well, I get paid, right? I'm a professional if I get paid. So whether that's a fee for the speech or selling a product in the back of the room or using the speech as a way to attract more clients to my other business, that makes me a pro, right? And the answer is wrong. I've talked for a long time about there are three requirements for professionalism. Three things, three aspects that you have to understand in order to be a professional. If you don't meet all three of these requirements, then you're not a professional at what you're doing, or what you're doing is not a profession. Here are the three. Number one, compensation. Obviously, you get paid for what you do in some fashion or form. There's some way that you're compensated for your time and your talent and your services and your ability. And if you're not compensated in any way whatsoever, that's what an amateur is, or it's what a volunteer is, or it's what a hobby involves. But a profession involves some type of compensation. But here's the second and third aspects of professionalism that are often overlooked. Number two, there is a specific body of advanced knowledge. So in other words, I can't just go out and be a plumber even if you'd pay me, because I don't have the specific advanced knowledge required to get the job done. Now, in speaking, part of what's interesting about this is that advanced field of knowledge really covers two areas. Number one, you have a specific body of expertise or knowledge, and that's the foundation upon which you speak. You can't be doing book reports of someone else's book and consider yourself to be a professional. You can't get up and just do the starfish story, made a difference to that one, or tell little Zig Ziglar stories and think that you're a professional. You're not. You have to have something that you know that there's a field of expertise that is a platform upon which you speak. Now, that expertise you may have may be in how to write comedy and how you make people laugh. It might be on how you motivate others and inspire them. But nonetheless, there's something about which you've developed your expertise, not merely where you're quoting or plagiarizing others. But there's a second aspect of this as well in professional speaking, and that is a professional speaker also knows how to master the platform. In other words, if there were a room full of people who all had a similar level of expertise, you couldn't just randomly select someone and their presentation would be as good as yours. If you consider yourself a professional speaker, you not only have expertise in your subject matter, but you have expertise about how to master and control the platform. We'll talk more about that later. There's a third one as well, and it's often overlooked, and that is that you have an ongoing program or plan of education. I don't want my doctor using techniques from back in the 70s on me if I have a medical problem. I want my doctor to have continued to grow in her knowledge about her craft and about her science. I don't want my accountant using tax rules from the 80s to fill out my return. I want him or her to be cutting edge and up to date. And so those professions require ongoing learning, ongoing training, ongoing discovery, right? So regardless of the profession, every profession has a field where you have ongoing learning and ongoing study and ongoing training to advance your knowledge. So until you have those three down, discussion about what you should be making per speech really seems to be irrelevant because it's only focusing on one of the three requirements of professionalism. If you just have the one, the compensation, but you don't deliver on the other two, you're just kidding yourself if you think you're a pro. And so we're going to talk more about now how we move from those three, assuming that you're going to acquire all three of those, and move into fees in the next video. Hey, I'd love to have your questions. Some folks have asked, do I do speech coaching, consulting, and training? And have had a couple folks that I'm helping right now. We'll tell you more about it. I was only going to have 10 people in the program, and now one of the leaders in speaking and also one of the world's great rock and roll drummers have already signed up for it, so there's only 8 spots left. It's not cemented yet, we're not firm on it, but I'll keep you posted in a future video to see if there's interest. Why, let me know, drop me a note. If you have a question about what you want to consider in these future videos, let me know that as well. Scott McKain, thanks for watching. See you the next time.